Hello everyone, my name is Bogdan, I am the owner of DNN Sharp, and in this video I'll show you how to perform some magic tricks using our action form and my tokens module. So what I will do, I will build an application to manage a list of clients. And I will build a listing module that populates using Razor script created with my tokens. And then I will use an action form to add new clients and edit existing clients. So I will just start by creating a new page. I'll call it clients, and here I have a HTML modules, and I can use this for the listing. And then I will need another page that I will place under this one, that I will say let's say update. And on this page I will have the action form. That will update or create new clients. Now these clients will be in the database, and I've already created a table. I call it a test, and it has an ID, a name, and a country. So we'll start with what is easier, and that is create new clients. Let's see how we can do this with this action form that I've created. I will just start with a blank form, and then I need to add 3 fields. Actually, just 2, name and country. So the name, and then I will I can add a country field that will let me pick it up from a drop down. And then finally I need to add a button, and the button is, let's say, add. And in this I will define a list of action. I need first to run an SQL query to insert the data into the database. So I'll just insert into a test, name and country, and I will use the form fields access them by this token country. So this basically replaces the value that was submitted for country, and this one replaces with the value that was submitted for name. Okay, and now normally if I need I can save the user ID, because this will insert into table that has a primary key that is also an identity, so it will generate a unique ID, and I can store this into non-output token if I need. So let's say client ID, but I don't need it. And finally, after I run the query, I want to redirect back to the clients page. And maybe before redirecting back, I want to display a message, and the message would say client successfully created. And now this will need a continue button, because as it is, if I put this action display message here, it will display the message, but if there is no button to continue, the execution will end here and it will never get redirected to this portal page. And this display message actually accepts buttons, so I will just create a new button, and I will name it, let's say, continue. And in this button I will add a new action that it will say redirect to portal page, and I will say redirect to the clients page. So again, I have to delete this action from here. So again, let me show you what I've created. So this is the form, name, country, add. When the add button is clicked, it will run the SQL query to insert a new client. Then it will display the message that this was a successful operation. and this will also show a continue button, and I will select it here, so it shows this button. You can actually add any number of buttons if you have multiple ones. And when the continue button is clicked, which is this one, this also has an action to redirect to the portal page, which is clients. I will just save everything and go back. So now let's say that I want to add John something that lives in Albania. Oh, okay, so you see the continue button. I forgot to take it out, so it also displays it in the buttons pane. So I forgot to mention this. When you add a button to the form, you have the option either displays in buttons pane, and that is at the bottom of the form, or displayed inside the form, and this means that you can go with the layout mode and drag the button wherever you want. Okay, if you take out the form and you go to layout, you don't see the button anymore. You cannot drag it. It's in the buttons pane. Or you can take it out of the buttons pane as well, and then it will only be displayed in action. So what I need to do is take out both. And now I will save it and go back. And now you see I don't see the continue button anymore, but when I will submit it, I'll just say John from Albania, edit, and now we got an error. Let's check out what this is all about. So it looks like it was a problem with the SQL query. Probably I didn't create it correctly. Let's go back and check it out. So on add, run SQL query. Maybe this was values. Okay, I'll just save this and go back and let's try this again. I'll just grab the query and run it through SQL to check it out. Okay, so I misspelled a column name. Okay, it now looks fine. Okay, I will save this, go back and submit it again. John something, add. We still have an error here. Let's see which one is it still. Okay, so this actually didn't return anything, and there should have probably been a better message here. What is the problem here? I tried to store the token, but I didn't write something that will return a value. So what I actually needed to do, if I wanted the ID, was to do something like select scope identity, something like that. Let me check this out real quickly. Yes, so you see I get the ID back. So this is what I needed to do if I wanted to store this token. Okay, I will save this, go back and try it again. Okay, so now you see it's submitted successfully. I get the message, I get the continue button. When I click the continue button, I'm taken back to the client's page. So far so good. Now I want to display the list of clients here in this HTML modules, and for that I will create a my token. I don't know if I already have my tokens added to the admin or if I have it installed. Let me check real quickly. I don't have it installed, so I'll install it real quickly. So now I have it installed, and I will just add it to the page. And now it says that it successfully created an admin button. So I already have it in admin, my tokens, and that is recommended to delete it from here, and I will just delete it because I don't want to have it here on this page. And now I'll go to my tokens from the admin button. And here you'll notice you already have some core tokens created. And what I want to do, the first thing I want to do is to create a new, it will ask for a new namespace. Let's call this clients. And I will call the first token list. I want to get it directly from the database using an SQL query. And here I can actually specify a different caching strategy. For example, I can cache it per portal, per role, or per user, but this list will not vary. Based on this, it will be the same for all sites, so I'll just keep it global, and you can put a cache time to save round trips. But I will not go into this with this application. And now I just write the query here. Select from for a test, and here I say which columns do I want. Well, I want the ID column, I want the name column, and I want the country column. Okay, and I will just leave it like this. Now I can actually click on each, and you will see it will bring me the first entry in the database. But now what I want to do is to iterate through all the clients in this list and display them nicely. And I will do this using a razor script. So I just create, let's say, formatted list, and I will create it as a razor C#, okay, and I will go and create it like this. For each, and then I can access the other data source by its namespace dot token name. And I'm not sure about exactly what these objects will be, but I will just test it out. So maybe I'll write it like this. The problem with this is that I'm on medium trust, so I will just go real quickly and switch to full trust, because otherwise I will not get permission to compile razor scripts on the fly. Okay, now it works, but I need to test a little before I get the right combination. So probably this client will have these properties in it. Let's say I want to display client.name. Let's see if that works. Yes, so you see I have all the first name, and actually there are some tokens because I tested the query directly in the database. So I inserted some entries like this. I will just go in and delete all this data. I will just leave John for now. So back here I only see John. Okay, so now I will actually go in and create the rest of the data. I'll say like this, from client from country, and I will actually make an order list of clients where each one of these will be a list item, and then I will also place a edit link. And here I will point to the page with action form, and I will pass the ID in the query strings. So I can either take the URL directly, or I can use a token to grab the URL, let's say by its tab ID. And this is a nice thing about my tokens, that it has this. I think the page was update. Okay. So I'm checking in the tabs table that the page ID for update is 96, and then I can just use a token from my tokens that say navigate URL, and I will just give it the tab ID. So then no matter how I rename the page or I move it around, this URL will be the same. I don't have to change this token. And then I will say ID equals, and again grab it from the client. Okay. So if you're not familiar with Razor, there's a link here to quickly get started, or search over Google. There are tons of resources about this. Okay, so this edit link, I just passed the client ID, and now I'll save this. Let's see that it actually works. Okay. And now I will take this token and I will go back to the client's page, and I will use this HTML module. I will have the list here, and then maybe some new lines, and then I will have an add new client button. And here I would actually use the same token, navigate URL, and take the tab ID, which was 96. Okay, I will save this, and I have to go to HTML module settings and enable tokens from here. Update. So now it says John from Algeria, and I can edit this, and it will take me to the client update page with an ID in the URL. It's not linked yet to the update. Or I can add new client. I'll go to update and I will add maybe Mark, and that is from Bahrain. Client successfully created. Continue. I'm taken back, and now you see I have both clients here, and if I go to edit, I have a unique ID here. Okay. So now I need to have this form also perform an update. So I don't need to do an add. So I can actually either have two forms, and probably that's cleanest, or have one form and then determine based on the URL if I have to do an insert or I have to do an update. For cleanest, I will create another page. So just like this one, I will just copy it and modify it after this, and I will call that one new. Let's say one should be new and the other should be update. Okay, I don't want to display this in menu, and I want to copy this module, this action form module. Okay, add page. Okay, so this will be the new page, and I would, if I go back to the tabs, I see this is the ID 98. So I will also have to go back to the clients and update this link 98. Okay, let's check it again. So if I go on this one, I go on clients new, and I will create Rick, that is from Belize. Okay, I have it here. And now when I go edit, I go on the update, and on this update I will just modify. The button first, it will say update. I don't want it to say edit, and then in the SQL query I will just say update a test, set name equals name, and country equals country, where ID equals, and here I use another my token to get the ID from the query string. Query string ID. I'll just delete this here. Let's test this and update a test. Set name equals name, country equals country. Okay, looks good. I'll just save this, and maybe the message should say client successfully updated. Okay, save. Go back. So now when I edit John, I actually also want to load the values here. So I will just show you that in a minute. But anyway, I will show you that it's actually updating John and not creating a new John. So I will just create it. I will just change it to a different name. Let's say Michael from Argentina. So I will update this, and you see now it replaced John. So it didn't update. What it didn't do is fill out this value, whatever it is in the database. And to do this, I will need again to use my tokens. And I will use my tokens with the initial value. So what I want to do here is call a token like this, clients, let's say by ID, and here pass it an ID equals query string ID. So this I'm getting from the URL, so it's 5, and I'm passing this as a parameter to the by ID token, which it doesn't exist yet. I will create it now. I will go in a new window, new token, by ID, database, select all from a test where ID equals, and now I use another token to get the parameter. This is a special collection of tokens. It's called TKN params. So whatever I pass here in between the parentheses with this construct ID equals, and I could actually have more parameters by separating them with comma, something else equals something else. All of this will be available when I in the token that is invoked. So in this token, in by ID, in this TKN params token. Okay, and because this is a number, I don't have to enclose it in single quotes. Although even if I do, there will be no harm. SQL Server will know to convert it automatically to a number. Okay, so I have to put the columns ID, name, country. Okay. And I will just save this. And here you see by ID, I have 3 tokens, and they also accept this value. So let's just say ID equals 5, I think it was the first one. And you see, it brings me 5, but if I want the name, it should bring Michael that I've just updated. So what I will do, I will get, I have already got this token, which is the one here. So it's client by ID dot name. So client by ID returns the whole database row, and that name selects the name field. And I should do the same for country. Okay, and save this. And let's give it a try. So here, because I'm missing something, I got an error. Let's see what I'm missing. clients, just a typo, clients. Okay, so you see I have Michael from Argentina loaded here. Go back to the clients, let's say I want to edit Rick. I come, I edit Rick, I move Rick to Angola. Update, continue, Rick is now from Angola. Add a new client, Martin from Cape Verde, continue, I have now Martin. So you see I've built a simple application to manage this, but now I can extend it, because in Razor I can do basically everything. I can do even pagination, I can do, or I can do even search, I can do fancy UI, I can pull up pictures. I can basically do anything from Razor. So this is just the beginning. Now we understand that this is too much work to have just this simple listing, and we actually have it on our roadmap to build a module that would actually connect to Action Form and build all this listing, and maybe also view pages, and build this integrated and more easily, so you don't have to do all this linking. So you notice that I did a lot of wiring between query, string tokens, queries, and so on. And you can actually go to our website, to Action Form, and go to the support community, and you'll notice there are some feature requests there. And this action we have here is to connect to a table automatically, so you can create like you don't have to create manually the queries, like I had to insert into table or update into table. And then we have this action view module to build templates from Action Form, and this is actually what I meant by this module to make this easier. It will basically be able to connect to a data source, and this will be Action Form, the data source, but only initially, because we will be able to provide a data source via database query. So for example, let's say you want to manage pages. You put this module, and you connect to the database to manage modules, and then maybe also use Action Form to update them. Okay, and then there are many other feature requests. We always receive new ones. We don't have that much time to implement them all, but we also have voting system, so you can come in and vote. For example, this will probably look like the next major feature. And you can also pledge funds, which will increase the priority of how feature gets implemented. So there's a pledge funds button here. And anything that you want, come and ask us. It's our pleasure to help you and challenge us with new ideas. Okay, this is it. Thank you for your time. I hope this wasn't long, and see you soon.